In today's lab, we will be using Kali in Wireshark. So once again, over here on my right, I have some teaching notes. So I should put in their default passwords, Kali. So to log in to your VM, once you download it, import it. So now we're in the VM. And we're going to open up terminal up here. And the things we're going to do first is you always want to get the latest updates. So sudo stands for super user do. So this is the administrative, the highest level of administrative. So apt for app, and then update, and password's Kali. Now it's going out and looking in the repositories of Kali operating systems to see if there's any updates. And what will happen is it should return that we need to do an upgrade, not just an update. And it's proving me wrong. It's doing an update. So I believe this is the Kali 2022.2. So there it is. It needs to be upgraded. There's too many packages. So you can do, as soon as you start typing, it kind of autofills. So sudo, and if you hit the arrow key, it goes to the end. So I'll just backspace upgrade. Now anything in default in these brackets, the capital letter is the default if you press enter. So I'm just going to press enter, or you can tap capital Y. So now it's going out and doing the upgrade of the 295. So once again, what we're going to do is we're going to start the SSH service, and then we're going to test the service, and then go ahead and use Wireshark, which the nice thing about Kali, to be more familiar with it, it has a pre-installed packages for your beginning, intermediate, and advanced pen testing. So you probably could skip the upgrade, but it's important for all of us to always look at the latest version of our operating systems. And then you can see some of these here messages, but overall it upgraded what it needed to. And my firewall evidently must be blocking this IP for whatever reason within our school. All right, so what we're going to do now is let's look at our IP address. So IP address, and then we can see that I'm on a 10 network. So what that tells me is I do not have a bridge network. So real quick, if you're familiar with VM, what I need to do is go into my VM here and go into my settings under network. Instead of being NATed, I want to be abridged. And what that does is create me a virtual NIC card and gets me my own IP address on my network. So arrow up. And if you need to do this at home, this is what you want to do to make sure you get an IP within your, and then you can see that now my IP changed 10.10.124. So that's a default for the NAT. So change it to bridge, and now I'm on my network. All right, so I'm going to clear screen. So let's turn on SSH by doing sudo service, and you can autofill SSH. So if I hit tab, it tells me that I can do SSH start, status, or stop. So I'll do start, and then we'll test it. So SSH, I'm going to do the loopback just because I don't know everybody's IP at home. And it's nice to know that this loopback is built into every NIC card. And so I'm actually testing. So there's this way you can ping your own NIC card or any network device. So once again, I'm going to have to type yes for the fingerprint. This is the encryption process. Password is Callie. So it doesn't show you typing your password. So just type and press enter. And now I'm actually in. So I'm actually in my Callie remote. So there's my desktop. So if I want to go to desktop, then I can navigate around my operating system. All right, so what I'm going to do now is done. SSH is started. SSH is actually working. So let's now exit the connection. So you can see here that typing exit takes me out of my connection. So what we want to do is let's run Wireshark. So sudo, and you want to run a lot of apps in super user, because if you don't, it won't activate your network interfaces. All right, so normally what you'll see is traffic. So there it is. My Ethernet already has traffic on it, and any also. So that's my active. You can see that I call it the little heartbeat. So what we're going to do is go ahead and activate. Let's open a new terminal. So open a new terminal, because Wireshark is actually using this terminal. So we'll just leave that one sitting in the background. So let's just do ping 127.0.0.1. Okay, then in Cali, it'll continue to ping until we do cancel, which is Control C. So you can see now there's much more traffic. So go to Ethernet. So there's a nice, let's ping now the IP of the actual computer. So that was IP address. So 1010, so let's ping now 10.10.124.100. So we're trying to see icmp. So you can also filter. So if you go up here, IP, and I just drop my arrow down and press enter, just click right on that one. And then let's change it to 10.10.124.100. Okay. So you can see that my pings aren't coming through. So what I'm going to do is stop this, exit this screen, stop my pinging here. Now I'm back into my Wireshark. I'm going to run it again, but I'm going to just run my loopback. So run Wireshark, and I'm just going to do loopback. And then I'm going to ping my loopback again. So that'd be 127.0.0.1. And so there we can see that I'm pinging my loopback. If you double click one of these, you can open up all your layers. So here's encapsulation Ethernet, layer 2, Ethernet source destination. Here's your internet protocol, and also so you can kind of expand these and click on them. We'll go ahead and stop that. So what we really want to do is watch SSH happen. So if we do SSH 127.0.0.1, so Callie is a password, press enter. Type the password again. All right, so ls cd desktop. So I'm actually in, and you can see that over here. So if I just click on any of these SSH version 2 and go down here to follow stream, you can see that we're using version 2, the operating system Debian, and then all your passwords and usernames encrypted. So it's all unreadable. So that is how and if you're doing other streams like from the internet, like we do, I'm going to take that filter out of there. So let's go to Google. some version of Google spelling. And if I look at my Wireshark, take that stream out, you should be able to see the web traffic. So let's close this window again. Now I'm going to run Wireshark on the real IP this time. So the Ethernet. So I'm going to do the Ethernet, not the loopback. And then we'll go to more traffic on the real network. You can see my IP over here. So as I click on a link, get Cali, you can see the traffic here. So the TCP, so I'm going to stop it. I'm going to kind of bring this down a little bit so we can, so there's a different protocol there, the TLS. So that's going to be some encryption. And you can filter up here by protocol like SSH. Nothing on SSH. And you must clear the filter in the bar here with the X. So here's some TCP. So if we follow the TCP stream, so this obviously is not a conversation, it's some type of control. So make sure you clear that bar there, and then you're back to, so let's look at this TLS. If you don't know what that stands for, that's encryption. So that's the same thing we were just doing in SSH. So that's kind of a short tutorial on Wireshark in your environment at home and using a Kali VM. That concludes our video.